Hey guys, and welcome back to Dark Logic Studios' Attack on Titan theories and discussions. Before we go any further, I want to give you fair warning that these videos are going to contain lots and lots of spoilers. So if you're not caught up with the manga, then what are you doing with your life? Seriously though, if you don't want spoilers, you should probably click on something else. If you're all caught up though, then let's get to it. So I already shared my initial thoughts about this chapter in my quick review, where I talked a bit about Levi, the time skip, and the ocean, and sharing my thoughts on some of the criticisms that other people have been having about this chapter. But in this discussion, I really think we need to talk about Eren. There's something going on with Eren. He hasn't cut his hair, he's not sleeping, it looks like, probably not showering. And the fangirls have gone from saying, "Oh my god, Armin should cut his hair, then maybe he'd be hot too. Oh my god, Eren has long hair. He's so hot now." Like, what? But story-wise, the way Eren looks now after this year-long skip, and in the context of the story, you have to admit it's a little bit alarming, at least to me. I think the long hair and the tired eyes, along with his body language and the things that he says, are some pretty telling signs of what's to come. The Eren we are seeing now is nothing like the Eren we saw before the time skip, a year ago. Just as the group was getting ready to accept their medals from Historia, Eren reminded Armin of the ocean when Floch was giving him shit again for not being Erwin, asshole. So in that moment, Eren is the one encouraging Armin and reminding him of their dream. But at the end of the chapter, after a year has passed, when they actually get to the ocean, Eren seems to have absolutely no interest in it. It's actually really sad going over the end of this chapter again, because what I realize is that Armin, although he seems to be fulfilling his dream, he made it to the ocean, and, they're there, so it seems like he's fulfilled his dream, but he hasn't really. He's just barely one step away from it, and that last step is Eren. Armin wanted to share this moment with Eren, enjoy it, join in the awe and wonder at finally fulfilling their childhood dream. But at this point, Eren doesn't seem to care. He just stands there staring out at the ocean, and Armin's standing there in tears, like trying to get his attention, and he's repeating all these things he said before, and he's like, "The things I said, I wasn't wrong, was I?" But Eren seems to be kind of like halfway listening. He says, "It's so big," which I've noticed is something a lot of characters have said when they've seen something they dreamed of seeing for a long time. Like Isabel said it to Levi when they were looking at the moon for the first time, and Faye, Grisha's sister, said it when she saw the blimp up close. So that's an interesting reoccurrence there. But anyway, Armin's calling out to Eren. He's telling him, "Hey, come look at this," trying to get him to check out the seashells and explore with him. But Eren just cuts him off, and he says something similar to what he said before the time skip. He said, "On the other side of the walls is the ocean, and on the other side of the ocean is freedom." When he had said that before the time skip, he'd thought for a moment about Faye, that image of her being eaten by those dogs. So even though Eren before the time skip was trying to kind of pep talk Armin a little bit, it's still always been at the back of his mind, the horrors that the Marley are capable of, and the things that have happened over there, and the things that they've done to people. And someone had even suggested that this panel wasn't just there to remind us of what happened to Faye, to remind us that there really isn't freedom out there for these characters, but might actually be one of Kruger's actual memories, if he had witnessed what had happened to her. And that's a good point, because unlike anyone else that is currently alive in this story, Eren has, in a sense, actually experienced life outside of the walls. So Eren has a very unique perspective, and because he's seen these things, experienced them even, in a sense, through his father and through Kruger, I can only imagine how beaten down Eren must be by now, after a year of dealing with these memories and kind of being in the head of three different people in a way. I think Eren's sanity and mental stability is something we should be very concerned about at this point. I mean, he's not just having to deal with his own horrific memories and trauma, but that of these other two motherfuckers too, and he's only like 15 or 16 years old. Damn. So I think what we're actually seeing in these last few panels, although it's a nice moment, it's a happy moment, it's a moment we've been hoping that we would get, I think what we're seeing could be the beginning of the end of Armin and Eren's relationship, their friendship. We've been talking a lot about these hints Isayama has been dropping, that Eren and Armin aren't going to be such good friends anymore. They're going to oppose each other, in a sense, as he said, go different paths. And we're definitely seeing this more now than ever in just these few pages. The fact that Eren has no interest in the ocean, this thing they've been looking forward to seeing all this time, is really telling. There's definitely been a big change in Eren over the past year. When he says that line that he repeated that he had said a year ago to Armin, he immediately follows up with, "That's what I always believed, but I was wrong. It's enemies that are on the other side of the ocean. This is all exactly as I saw in my father's memories." Then he points out across the sea and he says, "Right? Those enemies on the other side, if we kill them all, does that mean we'll finally be free?" And that line kind of sent chills down my spine a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of what I've kind of been thinking is gonna happen seems to be coming to fruition now. You know, it's kind of like, whoa dude, back up, back up. Jumping the gun a little bit, Eren. You know, go play with the fucking starfish for a little while or something. Just calm yourself down for a second. So with this attitude that Eren has now, with no interest in the ocean, all he can think about is killing people, it seems like. You know, he doesn't care that they're fulfilling their childhood dream. He's just focused on fighting. It actually feels almost more tragic than happy. Like it's a fulfillment of a dream, but not really. It's not quite as they'd always imagined. Because even though Armin got to the ocean, he saw the ocean, he's there, he can touch the ocean, physically he's there. But everything that was supposed to come with the ocean, freedom, you know, happiness, just finally living carefree and not having to worry about something trying to kill them, which was a big part of that dream. None of that is there. You know, the ocean wasn't just about seeing a gigantic puddle of salt water, it was about freedom. It was that dream of living happily with that naive sense of childhood wonder and discovery. And the footnote that we're left with says, that glittering time of carefree dreams had already come to an end. They found what they've been looking forward to, and now they're left with the reality of it. The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. It's another harsh lesson that often even when you achieve your dreams, they don't always turn out the way you planned. And sometimes that can make it even more of a tragedy than not fulfilling the dream at all. Being so close you can almost touch it, but not quite getting there. Having gained something wonderful, only for it to be overshadowed by some horrible truth. And Eren can't shake that truth, not even for a moment, to enjoy this with his friends. That, to me, is the most troubling thing about Eren's reaction. The friend that shared his childhood dream with, who he fought tooth and nail to help him achieve that dream. He's there, he's finally it's happening, and he's experiencing this, and he's not even listening to him, he's not even looking at him. He's just like Kruger had said about the Attack Titan. He's always moving forward, fighting for freedom, and Eren seems to be embodying that more and more now, as we're seeing this change in him from a year ago. You know, whatever happened to Eren over the past year, whatever shit he's been going through, whether it's something to do with Historia, with the memories, or the Titan itself, the coordinate, who knows. Whatever's been going on with him, like, all he cares about now is gaining their freedom. And it doesn't seem to faze him. He just casually asks, now if we kill all those people, will we be free? Like, no big deal. And everyone's just standing there like, what? But he's not unemotional while he's saying it. Eren's actually tearing up while he's talking as well. So I suppose you could interpret it different ways. Eren might simply be pointing out a harsh truth that nobody else wants to say, but because he's lived in that reality in a sense, because he knows what's over there, he can't get it off his mind. He's just, that's the truth. That's he can't stop and enjoy the ocean because he can't stop thinking about that. Maybe he's not really meaning to kill the moment, that's just his thoughts at the time. You know, he looks pretty out of it, so who knows? Who knows if he even knows what he's saying? Or, more disturbingly, he could be so fixated on killing all the Marley and freeing the Eldians that it's actually getting kind of scary. And that would not be hard to believe, you know, with Grisha's memories and Kruger's memories and the influence of the Attack Titan. This is definitely where I think Eren was heading. But this difference, though, we're seeing between Armin and Eren is definitely, I think, the beginning of this split we're going to see between these two characters. We still don't know what all has happened throughout this year-long period. You know, it's left us with a lot of questions. And I think that we are going to be going back and seeing a little bit of what happened throughout that year, hopefully, before or during this final battle. But Eren, it definitely seems like he's going in the direction of his father, of Kruger, of the Attack Titan. I think we all know he was going to go in this direction. And he wants to wipe out the Marley so they can be free. And I don't think Armin agrees with that. I don't think he wants to do that. So it looks like after this year-long period, Eren and Armin really aren't the same friends they used to be, just like Isayama said. And I can't help but wonder where this is going to go in the upcoming arc. We're about to enter the climax of the story, with two of our main characters taking separate paths. And probably not just when it comes to the ocean. This might sound cold, but from a storytelling perspective, I'm actually really excited that all of this happened to Eren, because until recently I've never really cared much for Eren's character. I mean, I don't dislike Eren, I just thought he was kind of boring, but now with all this having happened to him, it makes his character a lot more interesting. I mean, I was seeing characters start out as like the typical, well, Eren's not that typical, but the typical sort of hero, and then end up turning around and becoming the villain, in a sense. Although Eren's path really hasn't changed. He's been steadfast in his goals, and continued to do so over this year, it seems like. But the situation has changed. So, you know, it's not just about killing Titans now, they have to kill people too, if they really want to be free. But, you know, we know there's no real villain in the story. Their choice whether they choose to kill or be killed, either way, it's really fucked up, you know. I'm really curious to see where this is going, what our characters ultimately choose, what's gonna happen to Eren and Armin and Mikasa. Is Levi ever going to mourn Erwin? Is Hanji a good commander? Is Ymir alive? Is Historia alive? What happened to Annie? What happened to Zeke and Reiner? And what happened to the Marley? Did they just stop making Titans? Is that why they were able to destroy them all in such a short time span? There's still so many questions unanswered. But the next arc is coming up, and I think this is gonna be the final one, so all the shit's gonna hit the fan at once. But guess we'll just have to see what happens in Chapter 91. So come back to hear my thoughts on that next week. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I'll see you then. Peace.